Welcome to the Author to Authority podcast. And today we have a guest from around the world. We have Laurent Notin from Finland. Okay, so this is a first for the Author to Authority. We've had England, but this is a first, Finland. And Laurent is an amazing entrepreneur coach. He's a French national who left France at 23. You spent 20 years in Southeast Asia before relocating to Finland in the summer of 2019. His professional background is in market research and advertising, and he ran a small business of up to 150 people. So I'm excited to have you on today because you really understand what it takes to, get a business from ground up to, having employees. He's always worked for entrepreneurs, then he became a shareholder, and now he's on his own entrepreneurship journey. And he cares more about others than himself, and he has developed a passion for coaching, mentoring, and training people throughout the years. So that's his heart and passion. So welcome to the show. We're glad to have you on today.
Well, thank you very much, Kim. I'm very happy to be here, and that was a great introduction, I have to say.
It's funny, everybody says that, but can I tell the audience a secret?
Well, if you ask me about my
bios, I'm just really good at reading them.
Yeah, but if you ask me about my journey, I'm going to be like, well, I have nothing to add.
Well, I'm sure there's a few nuggets you can kind of pull out of all of those years' experience. So why don't you talk about that entrepreneurial journey? Like, how did you end up? Well, first of all, I guess the biggest question, two questions is, why did you go from France to Asia? And why from Asia to Finland?
Well, that's easy, because of women.
Okay, that makes sense.
Two different women. So the first time when I left France to Asia, I went to Laos, and at that time my partner and the mother of my kids, she was doing a master degree in to teach French as a second language, so teaching French to foreigners, and she had to do some internship to validate a master. And she found online, internship positions, paid internship positions that were offered by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And they were selecting based on a registration file. And there was a list of countries that, there were 80 countries available. And she looked at all the countries and she saw Laos. And she put Laos as choice number one because she was like, well, I guess nobody will choose Laos. And she was kind of right. And so initially we went there for 9 months, and I just finished my studies. I was not sure what I wanted to do. And then I said, okay, let's go. And that's how I went there.
So then you relocate after 20 years to Finland.
Yes. Right. Yeah. So another woman. So with my ex-partner, we stayed together for a long time, and 19 years or so, something like that. And then life happened. And after so I met this other woman. She's Finnish, and she had lived overseas for a while too. We met in Cambodia. And after 20 years of Asia, I was really, really looking for a change. Asia is great. It's a fantastic part of the world. It's super dynamic, but at the same time, it's chaotic. And I really needed something completely different. I also wanted to get closer to nature. Not saying that you don't have any nature in Asia, but it's a different nature. I was getting tired also of the heat. I sweat for 20 years, and I sweat a lot. And when she said she didn't really like it in Cambodia and she wanted to go back to Europe, and we said, all right, let's move to Finland. That's how it happened.
Cool. So how did you start your own small business?
So I mean, the idea had grown in my mind for a while. Like you said, I've always worked for entrepreneurs. Before I started a business. I had shares in I was a managerial shareholder in a previous business I was working for. So it was like kind of, step by step growing. I have a lot of friends who are entrepreneurs that have always been pushing me like, you should do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. And I reached the age of 40 and I was like, man, if I don't do it now, I will never do it. It's going to be too late.
Yep.
And so, okay, I was like, okay, first step is like, okay, I'm convinced I'm going to do it. But then it took me maybe another year just to decide what is it that I really wanted to do.
Mhm.
And this is when I started thinking about, all right, what makes me me? What is that I'm good at? What is it that I like doing? And I realized that I've always had loved mentoring, coaching, training the people I was working with. So I thought, right, let's become a coach, and let's become a coach for entrepreneurs because I've been doing entrepreneurship for 20 years. So I kind of know what it takes.
So what has been the hardest part of becoming a coach and starting your own business? I mean, you've worked with entrepreneurs for years and years, but now you're on kind of like on the other side of the fence and doing it all on your own.
Yeah, I would say there are two things. The first one, which is a recurring problem, is the imposter syndrome. Like I'm always like, I've always like confidence in myself, which is crazy for a coach, but I guess a lot of other coaches I like that. So I've always had this voice in my head saying, "Ah, you're not good enough. How can you coach this guy who is way better than you? You don't know what you're doing, all of that." So that keeps on coming back, and I've been working a lot on it to shut up that voice in my head. And that is difficult, and I'm sure I know I'm not the only one with that issue. And the other big challenge had been the move to Finland, because when I started, I was in Asia. My network was in Asia. So the first thing I did is I contacted the people I knew, the entrepreneurs I knew, and this is how I got my first client. But then I went to Finland and I didn't know anybody, and I took it a little bit too easy. I did not prepare enough.
And you were
And then
restarting
there was,
over again.
yes, exactly. And then on top of that, I was really hit hard by the pandemic.
By the what?
And the pandemic, COVID-19.
Oh, okay, pandemic, yeah.
Yes. Sorry, excuse my French.
Hey, I'm Canadian. I have no problem.
And I lost all my clients. Like, it was in March last year. I mean, it's not that I lost them, it's that they did not renew the contract with me because they were losing their clients too. And so, they had to make some decisions. So that was really, really difficult. The combination of both.
Yeah.
Really difficult.
Yeah, so a couple of things you said kind of really resonated with me. Like, I think about imposter syndrome, and there's times I felt that way, but it was really funny when I started RTI publishing. I actually didn't feel that way. It was the first time that I was doing something entrepreneur and I didn't feel like that imposter. It was kind of like I finally found my place. And I knew there was a lot more that I needed to learn and grow. But here's the thing I've realized about imposter syndrome is there'll always be people who know more than you. I mean, that's just reality. But I realized that I was created and I had skills and talents and abilities of people who didn't know as much as I did. So to them, I was the expert, right?
Yes.
It's a balance. It's recognizing, no, I'm not the be all and end all. I do not know everything, right?
Yes.
But for a group of people, and however big that group is, but for a group of people, I am that expert that they need. And so that allowed
Yes.
me to walk in confidence, because not thinking be all and end all, but by the same token, it freed me to help the people who really needed my help.
Yes. I agree. But what is interesting with imposter syndrome is like you said, I think I found my why. I think I was born to do what I do. Like it makes so much sense and I truly, truly, truly enjoy it. And I know that my clients are very happy.
Mm.
But what I found is that when I am tired, let's say I didn't sleep enough, or I'm stressed, this is where it manifests. Because
Mm.
I'm tired, then I can't think properly, then I don't feel confident in myself, and then on top of that, bam, it shows up and it tells me, well, you're not good enough. Uh,
Like, I need sleep. I just need sleep.
Yes, actually, but most of the time, that's what I need, more sleep.
So I know you've come prepared today with some real hints, tips, and advice on cracking the entrepreneurship code. So I'm going to let you loose for a few minutes to share some of that valuable richness that you've learned over your many years of experience.
Right. Okay, thank you. So it's interesting because I just released my latest podcast episode after I interviewed like 47 guests, all entrepreneurs. And so I thought it was about time that I also compiled a little bit what they talk and start cracking the entrepreneurship code as I said. And so I see like common elements that keep coming back. And the first one, and every time I'm asked that question, when people ask me, what is, if you have one recommendation to give to entrepreneurs, and I always give the same, it's like entrepreneurship is a journey.
Mhm.
Like it's when you are, most of the entrepreneurs, they're hooked. Like if you gotta ask the question on a scale 1 to 10, how much are you hooked? They say 20. you know, but they all realize that it's going to take so much time to reach whatever the destination is, which actually you will never reach, because what is important is the journey, is the path. It's not a destination. That's why we become entrepreneurs. But having said that, it means that you must be patient. Like patience is key, because the life of entrepreneur is like the yo-yo. One day everything is good, the next day everything is back. It's like my imposter syndrome. You require
Or COVID
patience.
hits, or
And patience and grit, or persistence, resilience. That's very, very, very important. Um, the other thing I would say, and something that I see that we've talked a lot, and it's the why, it's your purpose. Like every entrepreneurs, they all want to change the world, like, but genuinely, honestly wants to change the world, and they all want to help people with a solution or a product that they have created, and that makes so much sense. Being an entrepreneur, it's same. It's true with me. I'm pretty sure it's true with you, Kim. And so that's, spend some time to find your why. Spend some time to discover what is it that you were born to do, I would say. Um, Another one that is important is people. You can't be an entrepreneur and just by yourself. Entrepreneurs, we often feel that we are isolated, we are alone. That is normal, because there's a lot of decisions that it's difficult to share with others, and we have to make those decisions by ourselves. And it's a lot of pressure that we feel it's difficult to share, but we're not alone. You can't build a business by yourself. You need people internally, you need staff. But if you decide to be a solopreneur like myself, you have to rely on people externally. You have to have mentors, you have to find coach, you have to find consultants. Like, for example, I got a coach for my voice, and he's been helping me with my voice and also helping me with in front of the camera because I want to do more videos. You know, I'm gonna get a coach on with my digital marketing, because I reach a point where I can't do it by myself. You know, I need others to be able to grow so that I can focus on what I am really, really, really good at.
Well, and I think you bring up some really good points. Like you have to have a network of people around you. You know, people hear network and all they think of is like clients and potential clients. Well, your network is so thin if that's all that's in your network. You know, I have a bunch of C's. So you've got your clients, you've got comrades. Those are the people who are at the same level of business that you are. You know, those are the people that you can mastermind with, and you understand each other, and you know, you can go to when you're having a frustrating day and you're like, I want to quit, and they look at you and they're like, no, you really don't want to quit, you're just having a bad day. Yeah, I really don't want to quit. I just want this bad day over with, right? So, you know, you need those other entrepreneurs around you because they understand what you're going through. You know, when you go to your family and you're frustrated and you say you want to quit, they think you mean it. And
that's true.
You don't mean it. You're just like, I'm frustrated. I need help. I need support. I need someone to understand. I need someone to give me an idea so I can solve this problem, or just like a referral. Please, like, send me a referral. It would be really great.
Yeah.
It would just make me
and yes, and as entrepreneurs, often what a common issue is the fact that we are too much into our daily operations, that you know, we face walls all the time, and because we are stuck, we can't we have difficulties to take a step back and look at the big picture. And so you need people to take you back, you know, to give you a different perspective, and so that you can have like this holistic approach that you need. That's what I do as a business coach, actually.
Well, and one thing you just said just kind of reminded me of something that the last 2 years specifically I've been working on is I want to work on my business, not in my business.
Yeah.
You know, for so many years, I've done so much of the work in the business. But the last few years, I've really been working on bringing on good staff, bringing on key people, bringing on the right people with the right skill sets. Sometimes not fully there yet. Like sometimes I teach and I train because I want things done a specific way. But, you know, I've been bringing on people and developing a great team around me so that I can work on growing the business as opposed to trying to do everything in the business. Because you can't really do both. You hit a point where you either got to work on the business or you're working in the business. But if you work in the business doesn't grow.
Exactly. And then you become the biggest bottleneck of the business, which is like maybe one of the biggest risks that you can face as entrepreneurs.
Yeah, because
so don't be that person.
and you know what? It was the hardest thing to bring on someone, because when I brought on my first person, I really couldn't afford to do it.
Yeah.
But I just had so much work. And after a while, I realized that it was worth it. But in the beginning, it was hard, you know, because I'm training this person. So I'm still doing part of this person's work. I'm doing all of my work, you know, and then I'm paying this person. But it was worth it in the end because, you know, now she's our content facilitator for the company. You know, she keeps all the projects. You know, sometimes we have 10 book projects on the go at once, right? She keeps all those projects flowing and going, and I can work on, you know, growing the company. But it wasn't easy at first, you know, and having to pay her and train her, and but it was worth it.
Definitely. Yeah, it's difficult because, you know, this is your own thing, and there's so many things that comes to play. You don't want to let go because, you know, you have to trust someone, and maybe that person is not going to do it the same way you want you to do. There's this, you know, the fear of where's the money going to come from, like you said. Yeah, so much at play, but it's definitely worth it. That's use people for what they are good at, because you cannot be good at everything. Your job is to be good at entrepreneurship, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, it got to the point with her, and I mean, she's my best friend too, so it made it a little bit easier, but I realized that she had different ways of doing things. So, I taught her my way, but I said to her, listen, I'm teaching you my way because you're just not sure what you're doing yet, right?
Mm.
But, it's gotten to the point that she, we talk about a lot of things, but she's like, I want to do it this way. Okay, I don't care how you do it. You don't have to do it
Yeah,
my way, right? Like, just get it done. If you get it done, I don't care how you do it. As long as it's morally and
exactly.
ethically okay, I'm good with you.
Exactly. You hire,
Right?
that's it. I think it's Steve Jobs who said you hire people so that they tell you what to do, not the opposite. That's exactly what it is. You should hire people who are better at doing some specific tasks.
Yeah, and I think sometimes we, as entrepreneurs, we have to let go of everything having to be done our way. As long as it's
Hmm.
done and it's done properly, if someone does it differently, like, Juanita, she also co-hosts the podcast here with me, so we do episodes together, but her and I have been friends for, well, I'm not going to tell you how many years, but more years than I'm willing to admit. But in some ways we're alike, but we have some really major differences. Okay, I'm a go with the flow person. I don't write everything down. I don't have to log
Yeah,
everything. I can keep a lot in my brain, and if I forget, oh well, I go with the flow, right?
yeah.
She's got 5 planners for every area of her life, and everything is written down, and it's planned, and it's organized.
Mm, mm.
And you don't move forward until it's planned and it's organized. So you can tell that some days I frustrate her to pieces because I'm just like, let's go with the flow. I don't care. Oh yeah, we'll just deal with this as we go along. And she's like,
Yeah, I can
and
imagine.
then some days I'm like, Juanita, we just need to get this done. We don't need to plan it out. Right? But here's
Yes.
what I've learned. We balance each other out beautifully.
Hmm.
She's
Yeah,
learned to flow a little bit, and I've learned to plan and organize a little bit, and we kind of meet in the center.
great, great. That's what it is about. Definitely.
All right, any other hints and tips for us today?
I would I would say maybe something that we don't talk a lot, and that is important is to take care of yourself
Mm-hmm.
as entrepreneurs. And when I'm saying taking care of yourself is both mentally and
Physically,
physically.
yes.
Always compare entrepreneurship as being a professional athlete. Professional athlete, they take care of themselves, and this entrepreneurs, it's the same level, of difficulties, it's the same level of pressure
Yes.
on your body and on your mental. So, basic things like exercise on a regular basis, sleep. Yeah, I know there's a lot to do, but I can guarantee you that you will do way better. You will be way more efficient if you sleep. Eat properly. Don't drink too much. Because how can you take care of your business if you're not able to take care of yourself? So that I think that's really, really important.
Yeah, like last year, like sleep's never been an issue. I've always been one to go to bed early, get up early. I get my 8 hours, right? But last year, the fall of last year, I started having some health issues, and I actually ended up in
Mm,
emergency a couple of times. And it was a wake-up call. It was like, okay,
yeah.
I need to slow things down. They ran all these tests on me, and they really could not find anything too wrong. A little bit of high blood pressure, but that was about it. So they couldn't explain why I was having the symptoms I was. And they came down to, Kim, it's stress. You are
Yeah.
stressed out. You need, so, that was a huge wake up call for me. And I've now had to plan and organize my days and my weeks better. I take lunch breaks now. I never
Hmm.
did. I just worked right through. Now I stop. I take lunch breaks. A lot of times I was working in the evenings, and I still work the occasional evening, but I've been trying to spend more time in the evening, either with my family or relaxing or reading or crafting, because I love crafting. It's kind of my hobby thing. So it was a wake-up call for me that I needed to slow down. It also was the wake-up call that I need to bring on more staff because I was carrying too much. And so here's something else too, and I don't know if entrepreneurs think about it, but it's okay to start raising your prices. I had to raise my prices because now I'm having more people do stuff that I was doing, so I could keep my prices lower. I can't do that anymore because I'm not making the profit. So you know what? I'm like, okay, prices are being raised. I've been building my business. I've built my clientele. I've built my systems. You know what? I'm worth the more money.
Of course. It's another point that we don't talk a lot about. But as entrepreneurs, your number one priority should be cash flow.
Yes.
You need to have runway because you need the cash to be able to invest in your business.
Mm-hmm.
You don't create a business to make money. That's not what entrepreneurs do. But you need the money anyway. You need the cash to build the business. And so, you have to be literate when it comes to financial management. You need to learn the financial management basics. Make a budget, have someone who takes care of your cash flow forecast, be able to read income statement and make some informed decisions based on your financial data. Yeah. I know it's not sexy, but it's kind of
it's true. But here's the thing: it's okay to make money in your business.
Yes,
I think people have this mindset that, okay, I just need to make enough to make sure the business doesn't close. No, make a lot. Here's the thing. If your business is making a lot of money, you're serving a lot of people, you're serving them well, they're happy, I'm bidding on a job and it looks like I'm going to get it. But they wanted to speak to some of my past clients. I said, yeah, sure, no problem, right? So I heard back from them. They're like, oh, yeah, your client so-and-so, he just raved about you on and on and on. Like, he's like, yeah, you could tell that you've done a really good job for him, right? So it's okay to have lots of good, happy clients. It's okay to make money in your business. It's okay for your business to be successful. And here's what I tell people. If you have more than enough, there's a lot of charities out there that could use that money.
Yep.
If you feel like you have more than enough, then give some of it away.
Mm-hmm.
But at least if you have more than enough, you know that you and your family are taken care of.
Very true. I don't have anything to say to that. I agree.
So Laurent, how can people get a hold of you if they've heard this today and they're like, yeah, you know what, I could really use an entrepreneur coach. How can they connect with you?
Easy. So what they can do is that first they can go on my website, laurentnotin.com. I offer a free coaching discovery session, approximately 1 hour. So you can try coaching and you will live with homework, by the way. Then also by email, contact@laurentnotin.com or on LinkedIn. But please, if you contact me on LinkedIn, just write a little message when you just say like, hey, I heard you on Kim's podcast. Can I connect with you? Don't just send me like a connection request because I will not accept it.
So that's Laurent, Laurent, Notin, Notin. So I always spell it out because sometimes people can't access the show notes, but the link will be in the show notes for his website, his email, and as well. So thank you so much for being on the show today. It has been truly a pleasure. And this has been Laurent Notin and Kim Thompson-Pinder on the Author to Authority podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you on the very next episode. Bye now.